2010. That was the year I started Let's Playing. And my third Let's Play was a Let's Play of Ocarina of Time. But not just Ocarina of Time. It was Ocarina of Time 3-Hard Run. It totally sucked because I didn't 100% it. Yep, I did not get everything in the game. All I did was just a straight-on playthrough of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time just with, 3 hearts and trying to get everything, but I couldn't because, I didn't really have that much skill to begin with Ocarina of Time in terms of 100%ing it. But for this particular Let's Play, which has been in the works for quite a while in my mind, I am not going to leave any stone unturned for this one. This is going to be a 100% Let's Play that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time. And even though I kind of wanted to wait until I got a 3DS capture card to do the 3DS version of this, I don't really see that as a possibility for right now. So, for now, I'm going to do this version. The one that I grew up with. The one that has stood the test of time, that everyone says is like the best thing, even though clearly Majora's Mask is the better product. But, I still really like this game to death, and anytime I will go back to it, I will 100% it. And that's precisely what this Let's Play is going to be. A 100% playthrough with no stone left unturned, in terms of getting everything in the game completed, and showing off what this game is really made out of. It's made out of coding and all sorts of stuff. So anyway, let's begin with file number 2. In the vast, deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. Oh, Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it? The climate of evil descending upon this realm. Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But, before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now. Find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly! The fate of the forest, nay, the world depends upon thee. This game is 3D! Yep, that's the first 3D Zelda. It's amazing. Hello, Link! Wake up! The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up! Doesn't every adventure start off with us sleeping in bed? Just like in every RPG ever? Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? Yes, it can. Because out the window looks like a city. Which shouldn't even be a thing in medieval times. I don't know, that's always what it looked like to me. You finally woke up. I'm Navi, the fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. So let's get going right now. Alright, let's go right now. So as you can most likely tell, this is the first ever 3D Zelda. Therefore, we have 360-degree movements! Holy crap, so revolutionary! We also have A buttons and B buttons and C buttons back then. All that stuff. And we can basically read everything, but we can't because we are not self-sufficient readers yet. But anyway, this is our home. Welcome to the Kokiri Forest, or Kokiri Forest as I used to call it back then. I have no idea what to call it, but I do know what to call her. Our girlfriend! Alright, so we could climb down the ladder, but that's stupid. We have L targeting for that. Wii! Or ZL targeting in the Wii U's case, because I'm playing this on the Wii U. Which I figured, hey, why not? I might as well play it on the Wii U. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Wow, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Or Kokiri, I don't know. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. And she just wanders around like, you know, your standard Japanese girlfriend, I don't know. But anyway, this is our home. This is the first area that we technically can explore here. Kokiri Forest. And our first order of business is to make Navi shut the hell up because, well, you know, she can talk to us on a random basis. And that's what many people don't like about her. She's annoying, blah, blah, blah. I don't think she's that annoying. She's not. You're just exaggerating. All of you are just exaggerating out of proportion. She's not that bad. She's not that bad. And hey, what the heck you doing? Our objective is that way, sir. Can you please move out of the way? But unfortunately, we're a mute, so we can't really do anything. Also, hi, Gary. Hey, you, Mr. No Fairy. What's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. What? You got a fairy? Say what? The Great Deku Tree actually summoned you? What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? Or Mido, whatever. This isn't funny. I don't believe it. You're not even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and shield ready? What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but... if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. Well, since apparently we can't just go through him or clip through him because, you know, we're not a wizard like that, we can't do anything about it. I guess our first objective here is to get the money. So how do we get the money? Or rupees in this case, just like in any old Zelda? We break pots. What? It's a standard old tradition of any given Zelda game to actually, you know, break pots to get money. So her sister took rupees and went shopping at the store with the red roof. So we do know where we need to go. And of course she talks about the amount of money each rupee gets. Like green one is 1, blue is 5, red is 20, etc, etc, etc. So, yeah, there's that. By the way, this is Saria's house. Let's go into our house, guys. And, of course, she has a bunch of recovery hearts for us. So as you can clearly see, hearts, just like in any given Zelda, there are health, basically. You run out and you lose. That's basically the norm of every Zelda game, basically. And as you get further and further into the game, you'll start to get more and more heart containers. We'll eventually go over how we can do that later, when, you know, the time is actually appropriate. Hello. Hee hee hee, you came all the way up here? You're a real man. I thought in order to be a fairy, in order to be a real man, you had to have a fairy. But apparently not. What the hell? Oh god. That's totally not going to be the thumbnail at all. No. That's not going to be the thumbnail. The title screen is the thumbnail. Come on, I make it say so. It is my law, and I will say so. But either way, to get rupees, obviously, you have to go around grass, obviously. You have to search in bushes in order to get some rupees. You have to throw rocks, throw stones, throw stuff, obviously. And you can pick those up using, well, what the A button tells you to do, which is the blue icon on the screen. Just keep in mind, this was relatively new at the time, so yeah, we didn't really have any sort of these sort of actions before. You just had to assume that, you know, you had to pick up the thing in older Zelda games, but in this one, they specifically tell you. Like here, you can check the sign, you can read things, you can buy things, you can read things, you can pick up things, you can throw things, etc., etc., and also more etc. These rocks here are just basically here to test out the targeting system that the 3D Zelda games would eventually become known for. I'm playing the Wii U version, so in order to do that, you have to press the ZL button or whatever button you set the L button to. Just keep in mind, Z targeting was relatively new at the time, so yeah, obviously this is a 3D game, so obviously you had to have some sort of idea as to where you're attacking or where you're going. And you can also use this sort of targeting system to straighten yourself. So just in case the camera gets like kind of awkward, you would have to use the targeting thing in order to, well, do that. But anyway, the reason why we're here is to get a sword, and well, if you know your Zelda Ocarina of Time, this is where you will get your sword. Oops, I just spoiled what's in the chest. We got the Kokiri sword. So on the equipment subscreen in the pause menu, you can equip it with A. And this is going to be our weapon for the majority of the game, since Link is sort of a sword wielder. So anyway, pause menu. So here we have our subscreens here. We have the map subscreen, which is basically our way of knowing where we are. We can press the ZR button to bring up that virtual console menu that I didn't mean to bring up. Here's our quest status. We have all of our important items here. Our equipment subscreen, which we can use to equip our sort of things, other things, and we save really quickly, unlike what we do in the GameCube edition of the game. And we have our items, basically. I'll go more into those as we go along through here, but for now we have our sword. So by pressing the B button, we can attack enemies, we can attack all sorts of bushes, we can attack signs, because clearly signs are our ultimate enemy here. We have to cut down signs, we have to do signs, we have to do whatever with signs. The movie starring M. Night Shyamalan as the guy. Oh, and also, if you rotate the control stick really quickly, you can utilize one of Link's trademark moves, the spin attack. It sort of has been a thing. I don't know relatively if it's been a thing since A Link to the Past. I'm not really sure. But I'm pretty sure it is. I don't know. I don't know if it has, but yeah, this probably has been a thing. Either way, an alternative way to do the spin attack is to obviously hold down the attack button and just let loose. And also, by using the targeting, you can press A to do a jump attack. Again, one of Link's signature moves. So we need one more rupee before we can go shopping, because in order to get the shield, we need to actually buy it. And unfortunately, we cannot use our weapons inside because, you know, it's common sense. But either way, we have enough rupees. So let's go over to the shop here. And we can get interrupted. by a lady on the roof. So look over here with Z or ZL, and we can talk with A. So again, she's explaining how, you know, the targeting system works. So yeah, it's great that we finally have a fairy partner, obviously. And yes, blah blah blah, I know how that goes already. You can use the B button to skip text. Basically. That is oh so explainable. Welcome! Oh god, this guy is like a midget or something. Yes, he is a midget. But anyway, we don't really want to buy any of these. Recovery hearts, we can find them outside. Deku nuts, that could be useful, but what we're really looking for is the shield. We have now the Deku shield for a measly 40 rupees. There goes our entire wallet. So with the shield, we can defend ourselves, obviously from enemy attacks. And while targeting, you can also move around while defending as well. So yeah, that's a pretty big thing you'll want to watch out for. Alright, so let's equip our shield. Save the game in a process, because that is what I do, obvious, all the time. And let's go tell that asshole that we've gotten ourselves a sword and shield. I did not mean to do that. God, I keep forgetting. This is not... Whatever. If you want to see your great Deku tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. And what's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief, you're not Charlie Brown. You don't even have any bald hair. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? Yeah, says the guy who has no shield and is blocking the way. Ring ring! Oh, hello. It's kind of like calling this. Ring ring! Oh, hello, Pot. How you doing? Hello, Kettle. I'd just like to say that you're black. Yeah, it's weird. Like, Mito's just a weird bully. I don't know. He's really weird. But anyway, here's our first enemies here as we go along the path here. We have the Deku Babas. Even though it looks withered, it can still hurt you if you touch it. But dealing with these, it's just a simple matter of swinging your sword at them and just chopping them in half. And from them, you get a Deku stick. It's just basically a more powerful version of the sword here for right now, so yeah. But you can also do plenty of other useful things that we'll get into as we go along here. But just note that whenever you run into Deku Babas like these, you'll want to chop them up and collect the Deku sticks from them in the process. Great Deku Tree, I'm back! Hello, tree with mustache, how are you doing? Oh, Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless, blah, and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? Here's a funny thing. As a kid, I thought you were auto-locked of helping the Great Deku Tree by saying no. Let me see what it takes no. I'm curious. Perhaps you do not yet have confidence in your abilities. Return to the Kokiri forest to learn the skills of combat. When thou art ready, return here to speak to me by using Z. Yeah, for the longest time, I thought you were auto-locked out of helping the Great Deku Tree in the process by saying no. It's a weird thing, but yes, we will help you out. He basically says the same thing. You know, he says, I've been cursed, you have to help me out. Navi the fairy, you must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, use up C to listen well to her words of wisdom. So the Great Deku Tree opens up his big mouth, and he will let us into him. But we shall take care of that next time. And unfortunately, I cannot really do that. Can't really, like, look at the audience because, unfortunately, the game just auto-swings the camera. It's weird. Anyway, next time on Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we go into the Great Deku Tree to our first dungeon. Yeah, I know. It seems really alien at this point. Like, you would start off the first dungeon of the game within the first 30 minutes of the game. It's weird. See you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.